It's an important day in the Supreme Court once again as it's set to hear 52 petitions that challenges the historic verdict that allows women of all ages to enter Sabarimala. The hearing of 3 writ petitions will begin at 11 in the morning, while 49 review petitions is going to be next heard at 3 in the afternoon. A 5-judge bench comprising Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi and Justices CJI Nariman, A.M. Khanwilkar, D.Y. Chandrachud and Indu Malhotra will be considering the review petitions. And this comes almost a month after the Supreme Court's landmark verdict. While reading out a majority 4:1 verdict, the then Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra, had said that women were equally entitled to worship and that the rule which prevented the entry of women of 10 to 50 age group went against the right to worship of Hindu women and the right to equality.
If the government decision is sincere, we are ready to welcome. But if the government is going to implement this hidden agenda of CPM, we will oppose. There is no use of this all-party meeting. It will become waste.
Let me go straight across now to India Today's Anisha Mathur. She joins us outside the Supreme Court. Anisha, this landmark judgment was pronounced by the former Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra. Therefore, in light of that, it's going to be very interesting how the Supreme Court judge under the new Chief Justice of India would be, just taking a look at all the pertaining issues related to those review petitions.
Well, Avantika, with the new Chief Justice coming in, the only thing that will change is how the writ petitions that are going to be heard in open court will be looked into. The review petitions which are going to be heard in chamber by the 5-judge bench, 4 of those judges who are going to be hearing this matter are the same judges who actually passed the judgment or passed the original judgment back in September. So yes, we will have to see exactly how the fresh petitions are looked into. But if we go by the trends in the last month, the Chief Justice was not inclined to entertain these new writ petitions urgently. He has made it clear that the judgment of the Supreme Court must be obeyed. He has said that he is not inclined to give urgent hearing. Just even right before the Diwali break, there was a plea to hear the Sabarimala matter urgently, and he made it very clear that the judgment is there. We will hear this matter after the holidays, and the kind of opposition that we are seeing, the Supreme Court is not very happy about. So when it comes to the hearings today, we will have to see how the Supreme Court is going to also take this entire issue of a lot of political opposition and opposition on the ground that we have seen in the last month. We've seen protests at the Sabarimala temple. Right. We've seen how women were not allowed to enter despite the court orders, despite heavy police presence. And
okay,
in the
so
open
just refresh our minds, Anisha. Tell us who all filed those multiple review and writ petitions in the Supreme Court, urging the court to reconsider its decision on Sabarimala.
Well, Avantika, 49 review petitions are before the 5-judge Constitution bench. These include the ones that have been filed by the priests of the temple, by the Pandalam Raja, which is a royal family, Pandalam royal family, which is connected to the temple, and a number of petitions have come from various groups of Ayyappa devotees who are claiming that the court could not have gone into the issue of faith. What they are saying is that they are the devotees. The petition had been, the original writ petition had been filed by the Indian Young Lawyers Association, which does not include any Ayyappa devotees. They are simply an NGO. They are people who are not connected to the temple, who don't know the traditions of the temple, and that is the stand that these petitioners have now, the review petitioners have now taken. They are also saying that the court could not have the personal views of the judges with regard to fundamental rights could not have gone into the interpretation of how the religion itself works. What they are saying is that the deity's character as a Naistik Brahmachari, as somebody who cannot look at women of a certain age, should have been kept as an important factor. That is something that the court did not look into. They are saying that character should have been made the primary importance, because the temple, the deity's character is the most important thing. We'll have to see how the court is going to see these. Avantika.
Absolutely, Anisha. We're going to leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll keep coming back to you when those petitions are taken up by the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, a high-level meeting has also been called by the Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan to discuss about the arrangements and smooth functioning of the devotees and pilgrims when the temple reopens on the 16th of November. This meeting, in fact, has been scheduled for 5:30 in the evening, and during the meeting, the outcome of the Supreme Court review petition will also be taken up. A final decision on when to convene an all-party meeting will be finalized later. Gopi Krishnan Unithan joins us for more on this. Gopi, so just tell us what else can we expect in this meeting? There has been uproar over the kind of law and order one saw in the state government, in the state, in fact, with devotees being heckled, being intimidated. So what really is the purpose of this meeting?
Well, this particular meeting will have multiple agendas is what we are getting to understand. First and foremost will be the strategy following the developments from the Supreme Court. And it is with this particular reason that the meeting has been scheduled for 5:30 in the evening. So that is the time by when everybody will have a clear picture on how the court will be going ahead with the petitions which are being considered. That will be the first and foremost consideration of this meeting. And the second agenda will certainly be on the security and other deployments. Because we have seen how when the temple was opened for last 2 times as part of the monthly puja and Chitra Avatam, despite the immense police security, people, basically protesters, managed to come in large numbers towards the temple, and they even tried to attack and stop women, even who were above the age of 52. So the state government will certainly have to get it right, at least during the third time. That is on 16th when the temple is open. So security arrangements will also be discussed, and also more importantly the facilities for pilgrims, because Pamba, which used to be the base camp, is in a completely deserted stage after the floods, and now after the floods have wreaked havoc in that area. Now the Nilakil will be the fresh base camp, which is almost 16 kilometers from Pamba. So the state government will certainly have to discuss and decide about the travel and other arrangements for the activities as well.
Just kindly stay on with me, Gopi. It's also the left government in Kerala versus the BJP over the entry of non-Hindus in the Sabarimala shrine. So that's another controversy that's going on parallelly to the entry of women in the menstruating age of 10 to 50 into the shrine, amidst a movement by non-Hindu women activists and devotees to gain entry into the shrine. BJP leader T.G. Mohandas has now filed a writ petition in the Kerala High Court seeking a ban on the entry of non-Hindus in Sabarimala. Kerala government has also filed an objection in the Kerala High Court. The Kerala government said that Sabarimala is a secular shrine and it's not exclusive to just Hindus. The Kerala government said that the Muslims have been praying in Sabarimala shrine and it needs to also consult Muslim Christian groups before deciding on the writ petition against the entry of non-Hindus into the shrine. In fact, the writ petition by T.G. Mohandas comes after a controversial statement by Kerala BJP chief P.S. Sridharan Pillai, who was caught on camera saying that Sabarimala protest was a golden opportunity for the BJP. However, the leader has now gone to deny having made such a statement.
യുവമോർച്ചയുടെ ഒരു ജില്ലാ ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറിയുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിലാണ് അന്ന് നമ്മുടെ ഭക്തജനങ്ങളെ സംഘടിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ശ്രീജിത്ത് 2 സ്ത്രീകളെയും കൊണ്ടുപോയപ്പോൾ അതിൽ തടയിടാൻ സാധിച്ചെന്നുള്ള വസ്തുത നമുക്കറിയാം. If Chief Minister has got such an evidence, he ought to have preferred a complaint against us without making any effort. Home Minister of Kerala saying so. I condemning his attitude and rejecting his opinion as a whole.
MP Rajesh of the CPI also joins us. Sir, how do you respond to BJP's T.G. Mohandas, who has approached the Kerala High Court seeking a declaration that permitting the entry of non-Hindus violates the Sabarimala temple rules?
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me, sir?
It's an attempt of Sangha Parivar and BJP to criminalize the entire Sabarimala issue. Sabarimala is a temple with great secular tradition. And RSS has always been opposed to Sabarimala because of its secular character. Now the RSS and BJP is misusing this opportunity to hijack that temple and to destroy its secular character.
So do you think that this is an attempt by the BJP to once again polarize the issue and unnecessarily cause tension in the state?
Yeah, there have been using and picking up every issue in the last 4.5 years to create polarization in Kerala, but they have repeatedly failed in polarizing Kerala society. In this attempt also, they will miserably fail. Now, the political developments in Kerala shows that BJP and RF have been isolated. Their lies after lies they are propagating are being exposed by each passing day.
On the contrary, sir, the BJP, it accuses your party and blames your party for totally and miserably failing in maintaining law and order.
In fact, the government of Kerala has done a great job in maintaining law and order despite all efforts by RSS-led criminals to sabotage law and order situation in Kerala, especially in Sabarimala. But the government has done a wonderful job in foiling their attempts.
Stay on with me, sir. In fact, T.G. Mohandas joins us on the broadcast, and you have filed a writ petition now in the Kerala High Court. Why do you want this to be declared, that the permission, that the entry of non-Hindus, why do you believe that the entry of non-Hindus violates the Sabarimala temple rules?
It's not my belief. It's an act passed by Kerala Legislative Assembly way back in 1965, saying that all Hindu temples in Kerala, non-Hindus shall not be given entry. You know, recently the Supreme Court in Sabarimala judgment, they set aside one Rule 3B of a Kerala Act. Now, Rule 3A is still standing, and that rule says that non-Hindus shall not be given entry. So it's not my faith or belief. It is an act passed by the state government that is to be implemented. Now, what is happening in Sabarimala is all non-Hindu women are trying to or brought to enter the temple. So that goes against the letter and spirit of Supreme Court judgment as well as the existing act.
No, but sir, tell me something. Hasn't the court also orally observed that Sabarimala in fact is a place for everyone to come and offer their prayers, and that people of all faiths actually have the right over its rituals and traditions?
No, court didn't say that they have a right, but court made some observations saying that, for so many years, so many people were entering, etc. These are all verbal comments while admitting a petition. Generally, the court asks questions. They make exclamation remarks. Sometimes
if I'm wrong here, isn't there also a figure inside the Sabarimala which is of great religious significance and importance to Muslims as well?
No, nothing is there. See, there is, Muslims don't believe in idol worship. So outside the precincts of the temple, there is one sword kept at a corner, where they say that a Muslim who was the chieftain of Ayyappa is residing there. That very concept is going against Muslims. You cannot have somebody sitting somewhere. Like in Hindu temples, you will have Vishnu sitting.
But why should there be, Mr. T.G. Mohandas, why should there be conditions on anyone? Why shouldn't a person belonging to any faith be able to enter the temple and offer his or her prayers? There are no restrictions. There are no restrictions like this in any other religious place of any other faith.
This is to be asked. This question is to be answered by the legislature who passed this act. You think they were all fools in 1965 and we have become wise now? The problem is, you have to have a boundary between religions, then only they will behave properly. If you remove the boundary, they will encroach into each other, and that is why we are suffering because of these religious clashes. You are happily living with your neighbor because there is a compound wall in between. Therefore, what purpose the other people are entering in a temple? Why a Muslim should enter a Hindu temple? Does he believe in Hindu deity? So these are all foolish things. We have got a fundamentally foolish concept of secularism.
All right.
Secularism will prevail when there is decent, civilized boundaries. Otherwise, all these crossfires will take place. That is why in 1965 the Kerala legislature did that. So me who has did that. I am asking to enforce it so that this confusion ends in Sabarimala.
All right, sir. I'm going to thank both of my guests and Gopi for joining us, and we'll keep getting more reactions on this contentious issue.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.